Good morning, it's Thursday, April 25th, 2024. Peace is a path to the prosperity of a nation. Let peace reign. On the news this morning, pro-Wike commissioners in River State resign after minor cabinet reshuffle. Appeal court reserves judgment in suit challenging President Tinubu's intervention in River State. River State government shuts down more hospitals. And on the foreign scene, U.S. secretly sends long-range missiles to help Ukraine in war. I'm Ifichuku Moyele with the news. Now, the two commissioners in River State who were redeployed in a cabinet reshuffling by Governor Siminalayi Fubara rejected the redeployment and resigned their positions on Wednesday. It is the second time they will be resigning from office. As you may know, a circular by the Secretary to the state government, Tamidana Gogo, redeployed the Commissioner for Finance, Isaac Kamalo, to the Ministry of Employment, Generation and Economic Empowerment, and the State Attorney General, Zakios Adango, to the Ministry of Special Duties, Governor's Office. Both commissioners are among the core loyalists of the FCT Minister, Nyesom Wike, who resigned their post last December in the heat of the political crisis in the state. Now, they were later restored to their positions following a peace agreement with President Bola Tinubu in Abuja. In his resignation letter, the former Attorney General, Mr. Adango, accused the governor of interfering with his duties by directing him not to defend, oppose, or appear in suits instituted against him and the state government by those he said were hired and sponsored by the state government. On his part, the former Commissioner for Finance, Isaac Kamalo, said that with the intervention of President Bola Tinubu in the political crisis in the state, he expected effort would be made to sustain peace, but regretted that peace had remained out of reach. Now, he said the inability to sustain peace has affected his ability to protect and defend the gains made since he became a commissioner. He also reeled out his achievements between 2019 and 2023, saying the policy frameworks initiated by him led to a steady rise in internal revenue receipt, which resulted in the IGR presently generated in the state, though not the figures claimed in the media. Recall that last week, Governor Fubara said the state's IGR grew from about 11 billion naira under the previous administration to between 26 and 27 billion naira in about 1 year of his tenure. Moving on, the leadership and residents of Azwabie Okujago communities in Port Harcourt City and Okrika local government area of River State have pledged their support to the administration of Governor Fubara. Now, they made this known during a simplified solidarity rally to the government house in Port Harcourt on Wednesday. Tamuno Tonkaye Adolphus, who spoke on behalf of the communities, commended the Governor Fubara-led administration and asked for intervention of the government in infrastructural development in their areas.
Appeal for the placement of basic sustainable infrastructure in Okujago community in Walga and Azwabie Okujago community in Falga. With hearts full of appreciation and gratitude for your good works across the entire straight senatorial zones of our state and in an equitable manner, we, the people of Okujago communities, unanimously and with unity of purpose, congratulate you on all fronts. To point out to you, His Excellency, that as a community, the two secondary schools that we have in our communities, we are all communal efforts.
Also, another prominent leader from the Okujago community and the 2023 governorship candidate of Action Democratic Party ADP, Victor Fingasi, commended Governor Fubara's focus on the agricultural sector.
There is a little inflow of foreign investments into Nigeria. It's not as it used to be before. And we expect that River State is a state that cannot be forgotten. I have come here because I know that the current governor, Siminalayi Fubara, will develop River State, compete in Nigeria. I would like to advise my state to also look into agriculture, that this government is interested in agriculture. And that's the best thing I've heard from any government of River State since 1990.
Correspondent Yobi Oruware reports that elders, women, and youth from the two communities were clad in their native attire. Now, they jubilated around some parts of Port Harcourt before they moved to the government house, where they were addressed by the head of service, George Wike, who represented the governor.
see that whatever good agenda you bring to the table, the governor will work in partnership with you to make sure Rivers plan not denied any good thing that could come out of those ideas. Tell our people that their governor is on seat and he means well for them. Out of 12 only that Jesus was having at disciples, one could jump out. We know that there may be some people who may be tempted with money. Tell them to shun money. Tell them that what matters at this time is the people and that this governor is people-centered.
Mr. Weke said the governor is ready to listen to more ideas for the good of Rivers people.
Actions speak louder than words. In fact, when you start hearing too much words, it's empty vessel. It doesn't talk. When you see a drum that's filled, it doesn't make noise. When you hit it even. My governor is filled with knowledge. One beautiful thing about our governor is he listens. He knows much, but he still comes down, listens, and you will see that whatever good agenda you bring to the table, the governor will work in partnership with you to make sure Rivers plan not denied any good thing that could come out of those ideas.
In another development, an appeal court in Port Harcourt has reserved judgment in a suit challenging the order of the State High Court, which struck out a suit seeking to declare the peace agreement reached in Abuja unconstitutional. Recall that the State High Court struck out the suit for lack of jurisdiction. The suit was filed by elder statesman Anab Saraiwe and 9 others against President Bola Tinubu, Governor Siminalayi Fubara, Martin Amehule, Rivers House of Assembly, and the PDP. Mr. Saraiwe and 9 others are advocating that the case be reassigned to a different judge. One of the lawyers to Anab Saraiwe and 9 others, Kema Emerechi Madabuchukwu, spoke to correspondent Emekotoka after the court proceedings.
We are saying that the Court of Appeal should send the matter back to uphold the appeal and send the matter back to the CJ for reassignment to another court because justice was denied. But that's just exactly what we're asking the court to do. The matter will be there for judgment. Judgment will be communicated to us.
Mr. Saraiwe also spoke.
Ruma owns all those places. You cannot.
What we are saying that the entire 8-point agenda agreed between Mr. President and the governor are null and void, unconstitutional. Mr. President do not have right to overrule the court of law. We also say the House of Assembly, they are no longer members of the House of Assembly by virtue of the fact that they decamp from their party, the party that sponsored them, to another party. And we strongly believe that for peace to reign in Rivers State, justice must be done.
As you may know, he and 9 others are asking the court to restrain the 27 lawmakers from parading and functioning as lawmakers following their defection to the APC, as well as restraining the governor from reappointing the 9 commissioners who resigned their positions, among others. Still to come, Rivers State government shuts down more hospitals. Stay with us.
With deep sense of loss, but with
You're welcome back, and now the rest of the news. The CDC chairman of Rumaolo community in Obiakpo local government area, Okechukwu Amadi, has raised concerns over what he describes as land encroachment by suspected land grabbers allegedly operating under the guise of the River State government. Speaking to our correspondent, Mr. Amadi said the land at Ohiaminimba along the Obirikwere Airport Road targeted by these individuals was not included in the parcels acquired by the River State government for new low-cost housing projects. Now, he said properties on the land have been demolished by the suspected land grabbers. He also said that the land in question has been legitimately sold by the Rumaolo community following a Supreme Court judgment dating back to 1961.
Rumaolo owns all those places. You cannot cross Minimba and we cannot cross. And all this has been spelled out. And you could, if you recall, that last time too, he was there when all these peace moves were being made with the local government chairman under Governor Wiki. And how come he is the person now leading the demolitions of all those places? Rumaolo will not accept that. And the place, if you chart it, you see that all those places that demolished in Rumaolo land are not in Bodo, not any other places. And Rumaolo people, most of all,
the Inspector General of Police and the River State Commissioner of Police to assist the Rumaolo people in protecting their land.
Orderly during his then acquired land from Alo and paid them compensation. Then acquired again from Elepopod and paid them compensation. Not to Rumaolo. Just of recent, we see Governor Subara coming to develop such land. Why are they encroaching on our land with that compensation?
We have judgment of a high court recently in River State to possess their land. Government came, assessed the land, and gave us certificate of possession. Now these land grabbers hide under the government under false pretext and start to make problem with us. So we can't take it. We can't take it lightly. We are calling on Governor of River State to come and investigate this matter thoroughly to see whether he is the one who mandated these land grabbers to come and demolish Rumaolo peoples and invade their land. The land that we have been in occupation for decades. It's unthinkable. I don't think for Governor Fubara, as we know him, I don't think he's behind these people.
Reacting to this, Special Advisor to the Governor on Politics and Strategy, Darlington Orji, urged the people of Rumaolo community to channel their complaints to Greater Port Harcourt Development Authority.
I don't have any hand in it. That project is state government project and we benefit nothing if I take people's land. And I challenge them to bring up one evidence that will show that I am responsible for anything that is happening there. It is a state government project. If they feel that they have been infringed, let them come up with a letter to Greater Port Harcourt. They will invite you and make investigations and reconcile the survey plan between government and the communities. My own community, Border community, I have written a letter to Greater Port Harcourt. What would I benefit in taking their land? I'm not a land grabber.
Moving on, a child psychologist, Esther Nwoguwu, says the schoolgirl who was bullied at the British Lead International School Abuja, Namtira Bwala, will need therapy. The mental health professional tells our correspondent that the young girl may have gone into freeze mode during the incident in the viral video, which is a kind of trauma response, explaining why she couldn't fight back at the time.
And we all saw from the video how quiet and calm she was. She didn't say or react or do anything. Someone at the background was even asking, won't you say something? Won't you talk? So we can say psychologically that child went into a freeze mode. And in freeze mode, you can hardly do anything or say anything or take any step. Okay, so that's a trauma response. That's even enough evidence that that child has been traumatized. And that obviously was not the first time. Okay, so she needs to have access to therapy, from a psychotherapist, a child psychologist.
The child psychologist also said the bully needs therapy so as to be reoriented, as a childhood trauma could be at play.
And for the bully, also needs to have access to therapy so that she gets reoriented, and because of this bully must have been exposed to childhood trauma, seeing violent and disturbing scenarios at home. So she's also traumatized, and she's also a victim of adverse childhood experiences as a result of parental negligence. So she needs to access therapy so that she gets reoriented.
Now, she called for an effective anti-bully policy in the school. As you may know, the bullied schoolgirl has filed a suit over the incident, asking the school authorities to immediately investigate and pronounce the stiffest possible sanctions in the student's rule book on the 11 student who bullied her. Now, she said if the school authorities fail to sanction the student bullies within 48 hours of the receipt of the letter, she will seek immediate and severe legal redress against the school. Now to health matters. A surgeon, Zachariah Nte, has called for mass deworming for men in Rivers State in order to prevent a disease known as hydrocele. Hydrocele is a type of swelling in the scrotum, the pouch of skin that holds the testicles. Dr. Nte, a surgeon at the Professor Kelsey Harrison Hospital, Port Harcourt, while speaking at a free medical outreach conducted by the State Ministry of Health, said secondary hydrocele seen more in adult men is caused by an infection in the testicles or a worm in the testes called filaria and carried by mosquitoes.
Secondary ones are those that some people will have infection in their testicles that involve the testes and the epididymis. 2, it's a disease that is common but not giving much attention, called filaria. Filaria is just a worm and it has a tendency to sit close to the testes. It dwells in the groin. The program we use today is massive deworming, involving the use of ivermectin, which is an anti-worm medication, and you can give equally albendazole, which is common, but it's caused by worm.
Dr. Nte also said hydrocele has no age limit and explained that prematurity at childbirth can introduce primary hydrocele.
The primary first, the risk factor we could say, it could just be prematurity. But if a child is born premature, what happens is that maybe the child is born within 7 months of age, is not completely 9 months, the migration of the testes may stop in the groin. Okay, that's the crural fold. And what you have there as a problem is that the communication between abdominal cavity and where it's supposed to be is still left open. So there is a direct communication. So you have addition of hydrocele. Another problem you will have there is a torsion of the testis, because the testis is not anchored, it's floating. It can twist on its own and cause problem.
Meanwhile, the Rivers State Ministry of Health, alongside the Nigerian Medical Association and the state, has sealed off 2 hospitals in Bonny local government area. It comes days after Divine Love Hospital was sealed off in Rumodara, Obiakpo local government area. In a joint press briefing on Wednesday, the State Commissioner for Health, Adeze Ore, said plans are underway to also inaugurate an anti-quackery committee.
Unscrupulous individuals are capitalizing on healthcare needs to victimize people, take advantage, and endanger their lives. That we will not stand for. The Rivers State Anti-Quackery Committee will be inaugurated and charged with addressing these unscrupulous acts in our health system under the leadership of His Excellency Governor Siminalayi Fubara. We should do things properly. In alignment with his Health for All Rivers strategy, no area of healthcare delivery should be left unattended.
Also, the State Director of Medical Services, Vincent Wachuku, spoke on the need for registration of medical facilities.
Before you render medical service in Rivers State, your facility must be registered. We certify the place fit to give care to human beings, and then we issue such facility with a certificate. We call it Certificate of Standards. But unfortunately, most of these facilities are not registered. Some of them, the owners are not even qualified medical practitioners. And we can't fold our hands to watch these things to continue to happen. And so we have to fight to ensure that it doesn't continue. And so,
and now we'll bring you news from around the world.
Ukraine has started using long-range ballistic missiles secretly provided by the US against invading Russian forces. American officials confirmed this to newsmen. The weapons were part of a $300 million aid package approved by US President Joe Biden in March, and they arrived this month. Now that's a wrap on the news this morning. Before we go, let's have a look at the major stories. 2 pro-Wike commissioners in Rivers State resigned yesterday after Tuesday's minor cabinet reshuffle by Governor Fubara. The Rivers State government has shut down 2 more hospitals in ongoing anti-quackery clampdown. And on the foreign scene, the U.S. secretly sent long-range missiles to help Ukraine in war. The news was edited by Chioma Ezenwafo. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808-721-7215. I'm Ifechukwu Monyali. Many thanks for listening.
I get a good feeling, yeah.
As a young boy,
Newspaper, that's where we begin. My name is Ifeyemi Andrew, and we don't have a lot of time. Very lengthy commercial we had there. Well, quickly, we start with this one that says federal government suspends Dana Air license after Lagos airport incident. This one here says consumers lament as food prices rise 30% in 8 states. You want to find out those states, then the Punch newspaper is where you would have to head to figure out the states that are experiencing that. A few of them from, I think about one of them only, or 1 to 3 of them from the southern part of the country, Lagos, Ogun, and Ekiti, as well as Osun